Cool horror movies you need to see. For fans of the macabre and the mysterious and the terrifying, cold horror movies offer a deep dive into unsettling rituals, dangerous ideologies, and the darkest corners of human nature. If you're looking for chilling experiences with twisted characters and eerie atmospheres, these films will leave you questioning everything. The Sacrament 2013. The Sacrament takes inspiration from the real-life Jonestown massacre, where hundreds of innocent people were led to their deaths by a charismatic but sinister leader. In this chilling found-footage film, journalists travel to a remote commune to interview its members, only to uncover horrors that no one should ever witness. What makes this film special? The movie presents a horrific and all-too-real scenario where blind faith leads to catastrophic consequences. The slow build-up of tension as the journalists learn more about the cult's leader and the community's disturbing practices create a palpable sense of dread. Why watch? This is one of those films that'll stay with you long after the credits roll. It's not just about a horror, it's about how easily cults can manipulate people. It's a stark reminder of the dangers of extreme belief systems and the desperation that leads people to follow dangerous leaders. Svaha, The Sixth Finger, 2019. This Korean film explores the world of cults and ancient prophecies, as a pastor investigating a religious cult discovers connections to dark rituals and an ancient power. As he unravels the mystery, he finds himself drawn into a terrifying world that challenges everything he believes. What makes this film special? The movie dives into Korean folklore and religious horror, blending mythology with the chilling atmosphere of cult's influence. The idea of a sixth finger, a symbolic mark of the cult, and the spiritual battles make this one unique. Why watch? It's a highly atmospheric film that uses tension, slow pacing, and cultural depth to create an unnerving horror experience. This movie isn't just about the supernatural, it's about confronting deep-rooted fears and the cost of seeking forbidden knowledge. The Divine Furry, 2019. In The Divine Furry, a young martial artist's life is turned upside down when he gains divine powers that allow him to confront demonic forces. Together with a priest, he must face off a dangerous cult that is trying to unleash evil on the world. What makes this film special? This one blends supernatural horror with martial arts action. The unique fusion of exorcisms, demon slaying, and high-intensity fight scenes offer a fresh take on cold horror. The story mixes spiritual warfare with physical combat, adding an edge to the genre. Why watch? If you're a fan of action-packed horror with a dark religious angle, this one hits the sweet spot. It's a great pick for viewers looking for something a bit different. Demon fights and spiritual struggles with some aggressive choreography. Belzebuth, 2017. A detective investigates a series of gruesome child murders and uncovers a connection to an ancient demonic cult. Belzebuth blends supernatural horror with real-world crime as the detective begins to question his own sanity. What makes this film special? This Mexican horror movie mixes disturbing body horror and religious terror with a deeply emotional and intense story. The demonic entity at the center of the cult is terrifying in its otherworldliness and sheer malevolence. Why watch? For fans of gruesome horror and stories that don't shy away from tough subject matter, Belzebuth delivers on every front. It's a mix of crime thriller and supernatural elements that makes it a wild, terrifying ride. Anything for Jackson 2020. An elderly couple devastated by the loss of their grandson resort to dark rituals to bring him back using a reverse exorcism. But the ritual opens a door to something far darker than they expected. What makes this film special? This horror film combines emotional grief with a truly horrific supernatural twist. It's a fresh take on possession and reverse exorcism with a unique twisted premise. Why watch? The horror here is rooted in human emotion, the desperation of loss and the dangerous lengths people will go to in order to bring someone back. If you are looking for a deeply disturbing horror experience with emotional depth, this one's a must-see. Apostle 2018. In Apostle, a man travels to a remote island to rescue his sister from a cult that worships an ancient god. What he discovers is a bloody, pagan horror where rituals and madness collide. What makes this film special? This film takes you to a desolate island where religious fanatics perform gruesome rituals to appease an ancient god. The slow build-up, the brutality of the cult, and the stunning visuals make this a standout in cult horror. Why watch? If you enjoy intense, atmospheric horror with pagan rituals and gruesome body horror, Apostle has you covered. It's a visually striking film that pushes the boundaries of horror with shocking moments. House of the Devil 2009. A young woman takes a babysitting job at an eerie mansion during a lunar eclipse, only to find herself caught in a satanic ritual. The tension slowly builds as she uncovers horrifying secrets about the house and its inhabitants. What makes this film special? The film is a homage to 1980s horror, with a slow burn build-up and chilling atmosphere. The impending dread and isolation make the cult's sinister plans even more unsettling. Why watch? If you love suspenseful, atmospheric horror with a final act payoff, House of the Devil delivers a slow, deliberate build to an unforgettable climax. Baskin 2015. In Baskin, a group of Turkish police officers stumble upon a cult's compound deep in the woods, and they quickly realize they've entered hell on earth. This brutal, surreal horror film features grotesque visuals and nightmarish creatures. What makes this film special? A twisted, nightmarish experience that takes the audience through a horrific descent into madness. It's unapologetically disturbing, with surreal and grotesque imagery that's sure to leave a lasting impact. Why watch? Baskin is for viewers who like horror that's unrelenting and extreme. It's a gruesome and visually intense experience that's not for the faint of heart. Satan's Slaves 2 Communion 2022. In this chilling sequel to Satan's Slaves, a family moves into an old, haunted apartment building where they uncover a terrifying cult and an ancient evil that has been waiting to rise again. What makes this film special? A terrifying continuation of the Indonesian supernatural series, Satan's Slaves 2 brings even more scarce, supernatural horror and shocking revelations about the cult's power. Why watch? The movie's haunting atmosphere and supernatural terror make it one of the best examples of modern cult horror. It's a visually stunning film with moments that will truly send shivers down your spine. Final thoughts. Cults, chaos, and the unknown. Cults horror films tap into the most primal fears. Fear of losing control, fear of being manipulated, and fear of the unknown. These films will make you question everything you thought you knew about belief, devotion, and horror. So, the next time you see a random group of same-dressed people in a forest, in a building, or in your life, stay cautious and be careful. Bye bye.